Welcome back to the Collegiate Star League League of Legends University Campus Series. My name is Tasty Bacon. Joining me is Rapid Cast. And we had mentioned earlier, those awesome sponsors, Band Gaming and Twitch. Of course, as you just saw, we want to welcome Asus to the CSL family for this season. Huge thank you to Asus for all that they are now going to be doing and for joining the CSL and helping to make this experience grow and become even better than it has been before. So, as we get set for... Oh, sorry, there we go. I was wondering why I couldn't hear you. I had forgotten to unmute you.
Aha! Prize. If you guys weren't with us for last season, right before we get ready to get into our second game here, if you guys weren't with us for the finals for previous season of the CSL's League of Legends tournament, we had it at DreamHack Austin, and it was so sick because Asus really came through and helped us put on a really amazing finals show there at DreamHack. So it was a great experience for the players who came there and got to represent. Got to see them play. I think it was a couple days ago. Maryville still doing really well this season as the last season's champion. And just a big thanks to Asus for helping us out then and then coming back on board for this season. So really looking forward to seeing what they can accomplish this season as well. Just waiting on a couple more players.
Yeah, we had a lobby and then something happened. I had actually gotten a disconnect message as well, and then a whole bunch of players dropped out, so I'm assuming I wasn't alone because like I said, we're trying to get a couple of those players back into the lobby in order to get things underway for game number 2 of UT Dallas versus Duke. We saw UT Dallas just really kind of control Duke from start to finish in game number 1, and now we are going to get underway for game number 2. The pick ban phase is starting now.
I do not.
All right, so here we go. Gonna go ahead and take Jace and Darius off the field. Okay, those are some... I mean, we're just like instantly banning champion after champion here. What is happening to our champion select? This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. We take out Vi, Darius, and Victor? What?
I don't know. I mean, Vi has always been my favorite jungler, so... I mean, I didn't talk to these players, but maybe they just intrinsically knew this. And they were like, we don't want to let Tasty Bacon's favorite jungler get played today for some reason. That's the only, reason I could think of, even though it's completely nonsensical.
Well, see, there's this Camille champion, and I was assuring you before the broadcast that we wouldn't get a chance to have a game of this, but okay, so Camille's pretty good. She can kind of jump across the screen. She just clicks on a dude and it's like, I don't really want you to get away. And those, of course, the cliff notes for her kit. Awesome. Really strong. So going to be exciting to see Camille up there in the top lane. Most likely can also flex into the jungle, but certainly against the Kha'Zix. It'll be interesting to see what Sunny Onage can get done. This game did not have a very good performance in game number 1, so really at least trying to expect some good things there. Now, you might have seen Faith hover over Warwick. Warwick, thanks to his rework, is not available to be played for, I think, 2 more weeks after the rework, so just giving players some time to adjust and readjust to some of those Warwick changes, but just a little bit of a cliff note there as we see these picks and bans just going so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. A very quick draft phase thus far. And, well, they banned away the Rengar on the side of Duke and picked up the Kha'Zix once again. We saw Sunny Onage on the Kha'Zix in game number 1. Didn't really work out. So, obviously going to be hoping to have better success here in game number 2.
Wow. Well, there you go. Now looking to maybe switch things up a little bit. Thinking about the top lane pick here, it does look like that's what Jeffa Cake is going to grab there for Duke. We've seen Sion kind of take a resurgence in LCK. The top laner for MVP, Ed, plays a lot of Sion, which is why it was being hovered there. Not because he's played it, but because this is also another good opportunity to
tribute
see it played,
to the LCK and ULoL.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, gotta represent. But also here, Trundle. Speaking of tribute, he's got his King's tribute, and that's definitely one of the big reasons he going to get locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're gonna be just having a couple more picks here. Sona being hovered. Yasuo, I know I actually did play a couple games of League once I found out I was going to be casting this weekend to try and brush up. And I know I'm not ranked terribly highly, especially after not playing for a few months. We'll do that, but pretty much everyone in my solo queue games was always like ban Yasuo, ban Yasuo. Everyone just wanted Yasuo banned away. So I know that's a pick that could be pretty popular right now.
Yeah, half the time you're banning Yasuo from the enemy team, half the time you're banning it so nobody on your team can play it.
So it's just like it used to be. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Yasuo may be science, but turns out some people are pretty bad at science class. So I was definitely one of those people when I was waking up at 5 a.m. to go to physics class all the way across campus. Those were some dark times, Tasty Bacon. So no science going to be coming out here in this game. It's just going to be a last pick Malzahar. That is not that common to see such, I guess, a lack of priority put on one of the strongest junglers that exists right now. But also the Graves jungle pick, super surprising there as well. Haven't seen Graves jungle in a while. I mean, it's still decently strong, but definitely not up there with some of the top tier junglers that are out there right now. So I was just thinking about things like Elise, Lee Sin, both of them way up there, but not necessarily in Faith's champion pool. So going to go with the Grays instead, and that takes us to our last pick.
Yep, and Rapid, you had mentioned in game one that typically you see the mid laner saved for the counter pick. That is exactly what Duke has done here. I'll wait to see who they decide to go with.
No, man, it's mid lane Nami. Okay, so it's not actually a Heimerdinger. I believe Heimerdinger is our placeholder champion that teams agreed to so that they can pick the champions out of order if they don't own them. So apparently his monitor died.
Oh,
so it's the last pick anyway, so it's not going to change any part of the pick and ban, but it actually auto-picked Heimer, so that's actually a little interesting. But we wanted Orianna. Okay, so it's going to be Orianna as the last pick. So we're going to hop out of the champion select and then get right back in and repick everything with the same picks and bans and Orianna instead of Heimerdinger.
I don't know. I think Heimer would have been the right choice here. I think Heimerdinger's the right choice in any game, but
yeah, my dongers can only be so raised, Tasty Bacon. I gotta keep those for the Twitch chats, not for the actual games. I mean, there was a time when Heimerdinger was actually pretty meta, and there's actually a team, a Chinese team called Team Roar that tried to come over and make a North American Challenger Series team for a while, and they imported this Korean player fresh out of Korean solo queue. Named Phase Killer, and he was a one-trick pony Heimerdinger player. And his Heimerdinger dominated. It stomped on so many people, and then people just figured out how to play against it, and he just never won a game after that. So it was a little unlucky there, because at some point, the donger can only do so much. Not going to see that. It's going to be an Orianna instead. That's my random Heimerdinger story.
Well, every so often you never know if it's actually going to come out as a surprise, especially a team that lost game one. Sometimes teams like to go reach way down into their bag of tricks to try and do something to catch their opponent off guard, but that's not going to be the case here. So we're going to get back into the draft.
Season 27, we're going to have 80 bans per side, and you'll just have to pick Heimerdinger because every other champion will get banned.
Oh, man. Well, either way, again, we're just going to run through this draft fairly quickly here because everything has been picked. All the heroes were already previously picked. Like I said, it was that last pick that had the issue with the Heimerdinger getting auto-locked, but it is going to be an Orianna instead. So we just run through these picks again, and it's...
This is where you get halfway through the pick phase and you forget which champions you're supposed to be playing, or you accidentally lock in the wrong one and then you have to redo it again. That's would not be the first time that has happened to me casting games, But at least for the time being, going to see exactly the same champions locked in for everybody. So these are our team compositions. We still have to wait a little bit longer for everybody to finish getting their setups ready, but actually some pretty interesting things to come through, at least right off the top of my head. Seeing Camille just actually so devastating. I think one of the only real champions that has been able to deal with Camille effectively is something like Jax, because Camille is just like so rough to lane against. If you ever get a little bit behind, she can really just hardcore engage on you. And oh my god, the last second swap! Oh, tasty bacon. We're seeing Malzahar now swapped into the mid lane with a Karma support instead of a support Malzahar and a Karma mid lane. So that is quite interesting.
Well, hopefully that that trying to reconnect message goes away. But there it goes. Okay, right in time to get to the loading screen, or not, or I'll be kicked out.
Oh. Yeah, I got kicked out too, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on right now, but
Rito, please.
Yeah, see, this is where I wait for my producer to speak into my ear. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit spoiled right now. I don't quite have that luxury. So we'll get this up for you guys momentarily.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm the one. I'm your producer this time. And,
okay.
And my whispering in your ear was, "I don't know what's happening." So enjoy.
Well, I guess we'll get a chance to see. This is certainly somewhat odd. We'll put it that way. Yikes. Okay, well, I'm just going to do my best Reno to get back into the game. I think we might want to take a short break before we do finally get into that.
Mute up and cue the music.
Nope, did not lose me. It was yeah. So otherwise indisposed, aka coughing, sneezing, clearing my sinuses. You know, it's an interesting time to be me. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm actually just depriving everyone from the sinus-rich environment. That's my soldier ult. Either way, we're gonna get into our second game of this best of three series. Duke down one game, or they're down 1-0. It's always odd to phrase it that way, but they're gonna be going up against University of Texas at Dallas, my home team. So pretty happy about that. The Meteors, I believe, is their Comets. That's what it is. It's the UTD Comets. Oh boy. Yeah. Not even like the Western stripy hawks, or like the no, just hawks. Okay. Well. I'm Wait, really? I know Falcons. Somebody, this is where the we get to the interactive portion of the stream, where people can tweet at Tasty Bacon Live, or yeah, that is true. No, that's a type of hawk. No. This is where somebody's yelling at us the only time, all this entire time, and let us know, hey, we actually know what the name of the team is. But anyway, let's not belabor the point. Here we go into our second game of this best of three. UTD switching things up there at the last second, putting a Malzahar mid. There we go. I thought it was Atlanta Falcons. Oh, okay. You can tell how much I watched that. It's a little bit difficult to get American sports on Korean TV, but oh boy. All right. Whoa, lots of damage going down there in the bottom lane onto GOP. Yeah, back to the matter at hand. We've got League of Legends to talk about, Tasty Bacon. Yeah, also got to keep an eye on the top lane. That's where we're going to be seeing a primary amount of trading. But oh my god, look at this Camille go. Omega GJ just cannot keep up at this point. Now, something that's going to make that pretty dangerous is going to be jungle presence. And currently, Sonny Onage is up to the top half of the map, but he's below half HP. Still going to come in on this. And if there's one champion in the top lane that can turn 2v1s into double kills, it's definitely going to be Camille. So this is not going to be an easy time. Bottom lane, though, there's also more action going down there. And you can really see Lunarly, like I said, going to turn a 2v1, it looks like, into a double kill, but does not want to overextend. And winds up just taking as much aggression as possible.
Had my microphone muted on stream this whole time. Awesome. This is what happens when you're trying to figure out how to get back into a game while still handling the stream. We should be good now, though. Oh, my apologies to everyone out there watching.
So, I thought for a second there was me, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure people can hear me. So maybe this has been a little bit one-sided commentary. I promise you, everything that Tasty Bacon said that you guys missed were the funniest jokes, the smartest, wittiest quips.
They missed our whole Hawks commentary.
Oh yeah,
that's upsetting.
Oh yeah, that is true. That must have sounded so strange. I'm just trying to think about what our conversation would sound like if you could only hear my side, and it's just the most baffling thing to me right now. So if you guys are thoroughly confused, no worries. You can just like watch the game, and even if things are a little one-sided here, hopefully they won't be too one-sided in the actual game.
Yeah, that was actually my goal all along, was just to make you sound like a crazy person.
Well, I mean, you don't really have to work very hard for that one. Oh, going in, Omega GJ, trying to have to head for the hills. Will he be able to escape this? See, notice how I phrased that as a question when you already know the answer, because it's Camille. You cannot run away from Camille, especially not down towards the enemy mid laner. That's not how it works. And yeah, you can just see it right there. No way to escape there. Omega GJ ticking down. No! Oh my goodness! Able to just barely stay alive there. Probably not for long.
No. There's gonna Graves there. Okay. Oh, but the minions are at the turret. He's got a chance. No, Faith is catching up way too quickly. Finally gonna chase him down. That took a very long time.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad. I mean, sure, you're giving up first blood, so yeah, Faith is going to be a lot stronger right now and have that money to work with. But the big deal is just wasting as much time as possible from as many members of the enemy team. And actually did an okay job at doing that, but yeah, definitely the silver lining to the cloud of giving up first blood.
Yeah, and it also kind of gives you a little bit of confidence. Like those situations, if I'm ever playing in a game and have like that long where I'm just being chased around and just blowing so much time with my opponent, like you just start to feel really good about yourself during that entire time. Like even though you know you're gonna die eventually, you actually get a little bit of motivation just from the fact that you were able to make them take so long to actually hunt you down. So don't be surprised if Omega GJ actually gets a little bit of confidence boost off of that.
Gotta keep an eye on that top lane. We're gonna see a big engage as Lunarly's gonna go in there and the Hextech ultimatum locking down Omega GJ for a while, but you really do not want to fight Trundle when he has that subjugate on, and you can see how even a fight that was. Now pressing in underneath that turret, trying to keep the pressure on, but Camille not willing to dive this Trundle just yet.
Yeah, and that's a big minion wave going in underneath that turret as well, so Trundle's going to be very happy to get to farm that up. Graves making his way up top, maybe looking for a little bit of a revisit here. We'll see if they can actually find a kill in a timely order this time around, but Trundle has already healed back almost to full.
Yeah, anytime there's a big wave at a turret, that's when you don't want to dive Trundle because he's going to heal so much off of the minions underneath the turret, dying to it. So really got to watch out for that. Ooh, top lane. Poor Sunny Onich.
Freelancer just had complete control of that area. Sunny Onich had no idea if that vision was down, and just a quick flash ult from Malzahar means a quick second kill of the game for UT Dallas. Right now, I mean...
All right. Keep an eye on things. Apparently, we need a slightly louder in-game sounds. Something along those lines. Just trying to keep up with the request from the people. Oh, bottom lane. A little bit of damage blocked out there. Is that solar flare? Or not? Yeah, so it's... I forget what it is. It's when it's mantraed, it's soul flare. When it's not mantraed, it's just inner flame. So it was the soul flare that was blocked. Unless you're playing Leona, and then it's solar flare. So lots of crazy flaring going on out there. Either way, attempted all in, not successful down there on the bottom lane, and that's it's gonna be an ultimate down there for Bingo's Varus.
And if you're watching a J.J. Abrams movie, it's a lens flare.
Well played.
Either way, another solid start for UT Dallas, picking up those first 2 kills of the game. We don't have the massive CS leads that we saw in game number 1, so that's a good sign for Duke, but they are still already starting to fall behind on the gold a little bit. It's only 1,000 gold. That's not a big deal. But as we get up to the 10-minute mark, that's where a lot of people like to use the 10-minute mark as a frame of reference. Your CS at 10, gold lead at 10, things like that. And UT Dallas, once again, in a favorable position.
Yeah, they certainly do feel comfortable there. I was actually sort of interested in the second game because sometimes you'll see teams come out to a very strong early lead, dominate the game, and then get into game 2, and then fall a little bit behind and not know how to handle it. There's teams that only know how to win when they're ahead, but that is definitely not the situation that we find ourselves here. Kind of the same situation, a little bit of a slower start. I think it was 3-0 with a slightly larger lead here in game number 1, but game 2, just taking it slow and steady, going for these high percentage plays, big ganks from roams off of Freelancer, and bottom lane though, we got a lot of damage going right back in onto GOP. The exhaust onto Kha'Zix will prevent him from being able to deal all that much damage, and so even though it's 2-1, or I guess 4-2, if you want to not reduce the ratio. Oh, top lane though, here comes in a big dive. Omega GJ actually blocking a lot of Graves auto attacks with the turret and almost taking out Lunarly in the end, who will escape with under 100 health. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, Omega GJ's death not in vain, as the rest of Duke will go for this dragon, be able to take it out.
They had a nice job capitalizing on the situation, recognizing, as soon as they saw Faith up in the top lane, they went for that dragon. They are going to get a turret out of it, though, UT Dallas is. So, not the end of the world to give up that Drake for a turret and a kill. But now Freelancer
definitely going to have his work cut out for him. Turns around for the suppression. He's going to get the revenge kill in the end, able to take out Sunny Onage, but more damage from Faith and a flash. The long range
from
soul
Karma
flare.
Gotta
love it. Oh, but going deep, Lunarly. He's going between the turrets. Oh my goodness. He's going to try for the kill, but he overextends between the turrets behind enemy lines. That is not the way you go in for that kill.
I mean, you could say that it bought time for Faith and Hello Jenny to destroy that mid turret, I guess, but I really don't think that dive was necessary. It wasn't the most well executed play that I've seen today, but still, UT Dallas able to turn the situations around so quickly into their favor. I mean, we saw it looked like it was just going to kind of be that the turret for the Drake and, Freelancer getting jumped on. It was just going to be the end of it. But Freelancer not only manages to answer a kill himself, but then UT Dallas collapses as a team into that mid lane, find a couple more kills, and get that mid turret. And that's going to extend this gold lead. It was just 1,000 gold 2 minutes ago. Now, all of a sudden, it has leaped up to 4,000.
Indeed, up it has leapt, and that is just probably going to keep going that way unless UTD can kind of start to overextend a little bit, and that's sometimes what happens when you start to get that lead. You feel too confident with it, and then wind up throwing it away. So definitely got to keep an eye on that. For the guys at Duke, it's not like they don't have a good team composition. Jeffa Cake specifically on this Orianna, I really like what that adds to the team, just because it's a little bit more defensive. And when you're going to be getting engaged on by this Camille, like top lane, you're going to see Lunarly try to get a big dodge in there with a Hextech ultimatum, but ultimately will get taken down. And there's Sunny Onage capitalizing on overextension by Lunarly, one of the strongest members of his team. Overextending, getting caught out is exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, and that's one of the best ways to get yourself back into a game in the mid game here when you start to fall behind, is just find those picks while the team is still separated. Take advantage of this time you have before they start grouping as 5 and remaining grouped throughout the entire duration of the game. And so, good job there, but now here comes a very curious teleport.
All the way down to the bottom turret, Omega GJ actually going to get rid of the Malzahar passive and block him out there. But look at the shockwave! Perfect delivery! Right in onto Bingo and Faith, blows them both up. 2 dead 80 carries on the ground. Tasty Bacon, that looked so good. Just like your name.
Absolutely a beautiful Orianna shockwave, like you said. It was... The timing of it was phenomenal. I have to give a little bit of apology to Duke. I said it was a very curious teleport. I didn't think that they were going to have the ability to collapse onto that fight and make use of that teleport. But the rest of the team was close enough to that turret. But, oh, Malzahar going to find the ultimate onto Kha'Zix as he tries to jump out of there. But very nice job by UT Dallas in order to get that pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, really cool that it went over to Lunarly, took it away with a tactical sweep. Very tactical, very purposeful, and that's going to make his job as a top lane Camille a little bit easier. Not that it's not already pretty easy as a very strong kitted champion, but not really able to totally snowball, but has done a great job comboing with Faith to really shut down Omega GJ early on. Of course, same thing on the other side. Sunny Onage coming top lane to take out Lunarly earlier on. And nice to see, oh my god, look at how far she can go. The Hextech ultimatum, nowhere to run. Okay, well, there's somewhere to run. You just wait it out. Nice support. Good job there by GOP, saving his AD carry from one of the most inescapable situations to find yourself in.
Yep, and they do give up that bottom turret, though. Third turret of the game. Once again, UT Dallas, very systematic in the way they rotate around the map, taking down each of the 3 outers. You see Faith doing a little bit of work on that mid, but now could be in trouble. Nice job.
All right, well, I just let that speak for itself. I was actually in a little bit of trouble there. Took that moment to try to cough up a lung. But either way, I managed to keep both of my lungs inside my body in case anybody else is concerned. And a very unstoppable Jeffa Cake now clocking in for a 5-0 score. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier. Having this defensive mid laner really has the opportunity to punish some of this over-aggression, overextension that UTD is starting to exhibit.
Yeah, absolutely. Those picks, catching people out of position, taking advantage of the rotations that they know UT Dallas really likes to make. You know, normally they're very timely in their rotations and able to move as a team, but they just saw 4 members bottom taking down that bottom turret, and then they saw Faith in the mid lane, so they know he's on his own. They know they have the opportunity to collapse on him, and no help was going to be coming for a fair bit of time, especially because he started to move into the top side of the jungle. But they get the kill. However, they don't really make anything happen off of it, and that's kind of one of the downsides. But Trundle shows up and stops this Drake, not only stopping it, but now going to be maybe trying to take it for themselves.
Yeah, really great. And oh my god, that Ocean Drake almost got a kill on a Caitlyn. And it does look like it actually is going to get taken there at the end. Sunny Onage sniping that one away and taking the second dragon of the game there for Duke as they do disengage. Faith, a little bit of a miss there on the
short-walled it.
Not collateral damage. End of the line. There we go.
And I mean, that just kind of goes to show the respect that UT Dallas does still have for Duke. They were working on that Drake, but as soon as Omega GJ showed up, they completely backed off of it and almost completely gave up the Drake. They did try and get a steal at the end, but not a real heavy commitment to it. They did have Lunarly pushing up the top lane, getting that turret, their 4th of the game. So their objective control in terms of towers is still extremely on point.
Certainly is. Now trying to find picks there. Not going to be able to snipe off GOP. Oh, there's Camille flashing on in. Hextech ultimatum right on top of Omega GJ, and he's going to get blown up. Turn it around. There's the suppression onto Sunny Onage. Kazak's out of there, and another kill there. Faith taking out GOP.
And, you know, I haven't seen much Camille, but she looks pretty strong. I'll give the understatement of the day right there.
I mean, that whole like kill you from 2 screens away and lock you down so you can't escape. It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. But right now, the Rift Herald once again from UT Dallas coming out in the 18th minute of the game. A very late Rift Herald. You had mentioned it in game number 1, Rapid, that kind of gives you that little bit of an extra advantage with it because it is coming out so late. Nicely done by UT Dallas to get that objective at the time that they want it.
Yes, indeed. The Glimpse of the Void now going to be available. I believe that thing lasts 20 minutes now. So really, really important to have. Gives bonus objectives, so if you don't pick it up, it's not the end of the world, but it's certainly a big deal because it's going to allow just a much, much stronger solo presence there from Lunarly, who's already having a pretty good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeffa Cake in the mid lane with this Orianna, kind of the shining star for Duke at the moment, 5-0. having picked up nearly all of the team's kills. Lunarly and Bingo, they are not aware that they're sitting. Now they know they are sitting on a ward, but that could have been very dangerous for them if if Hello Jenny hadn't come around and dropped that extra ward down to spot it.
Yeah, sometimes I think I might need to carry around some wards of my own. We just had about 6 inches of snow here in Seoul, and I was walking down this big flight of steps, and I'm like, okay, well, here's where the next step is, right? So I just like step on it. Well, turns out, nope, no step there. Needed a ward to put down, and I was proud to say that's the only time I have ever just totally busted it on the ice this season. So I'm actually doing pretty well, but the dangers of not carrying around sight wards to face check places you don't know what's there.
I gotta say, we've actually kind of been lackluster on the ice and snow up here thus far. Here in the northeast corner of the states, not really been too much yet.
I was gonna say, like, I did not expect to be in a part of the world that got more snow than northern U.S., but apparently I have found it. Whoa, Lunarly going a little bit deep there. Faith now the one almost getting taken out, and he's gonna disengage with about 500 HP. So we'll keep an eye on things, but it certainly appears as if the defense of this second tier bottom lane turret is it's gonna be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, well, there goes the Camille jumping on deep into the Orianna, but is now all alone in the middle of the enemy team.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Oh, that was. Oh dear. That is quite an overextension. Now trying to get the turnaround here. Exhaust goes down in on the Bingo. Is going to force him to get away there. Jeff Cake running in to his untimely demise.
Freelancer just waiting for that Orianna to come around the corner to throw down that ultimate and find another kill. UT Dallas really trying to pressure this bottom turret. Oh, big engage! Massive.
Indeed, the biggest of engages. Yeah, a double kill there for Freelancer. He's actually going to go for one more. Gives that one over. She's sharing the love. Allowed him to get that triple kill at the end, taking out Kimura Yuki. Gotta say, looking pretty good. The mid lane Malzahar, I didn't know what to think, Tasty Bacon, when it was swapped up from the support where it is more traditionally seen, but turns out Freelancer's mid lane Malzahar, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, 7-1-4, I'd say so. But I mean, that looked like initially Omega GJ jumping in with that speed boost, Kha'Zix jumping in right behind him. It looked like it was going to be the team fight going the way of Duke, but the ability to turn that around with Hello Jenny's Karma and Freelancer on the Malzahar, they just completely flipped the fight on its head, got the ace and the turret that they were looking for. Finally able to break that siege. Here comes Camille jumping right onto Caitlyn, and there's just nothing that Kimura Yuki can do there.
Yeah. You kind of just gotta like look at that and think to yourself. It's like, all right,
Ooh.
A little bit rough. Oh, Faith. Okay, well that's one way to get shut down. Way deep in the enemy team, and no Varus, you are not gonna land that one. Misses the Chains of Corruption, and in the meantime, Camille just continuing to dominate that bottom lane. So some really good positioning down there on the bottom side, but a little bit rough positioning there from Faith, who has kind of been in some awkward positions this game.
Yeah, I feel like Faith is playing this Graves as if he was still on Rengar. That's kind of what it's looked like. He's been very, very aggressively positioned without having the ability to get out of those situations. This is going to be the first Drake going to UT Dallas, which they had such impeccable objective control in game number 1. It's kind of surprising that they weren't able to get either of the first 2. But now they do finally get one under their belts. They still have those 5 turrets compared to the 1 that Duke has managed to pick up. And Freelancer is going to get a kill.
Wow. Okay, I guess that's one way to do it. Godlike now, 8-1-4. Wow, there is not too much this Malzahar cannot do. And thanks to all that cooldown reduction, you got things like Blue Buff, Merle, and Omicron, all that jazz. Nether Grasp is only on a 70-second cooldown. So you're going to be grasping a whole lot of Nethers out there, and you can certainly see how effective that's been.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, on the flip side, you look at Duke, I mean, this is kind of the Jeffa Cake show for Duke. It's the only member that has a positive score, and it's 7-1. Like, that's almost the same score in just KD as Freelancer on this Malzahar that we're praising so much. So I do want to give a big shout out to Jeffa Cake for being able to kind of try and do what he can to keep Duke in this game.
Yeah, and Tasty Bacon, you're absolutely right. Both mid laners just going off this game, but it's not just about the individual solo carry. League of Legends is a team game, and we're starting to see exactly how team-focused it can be. Jeffa Cake trying to get the big shockwave. Gonna get locked down and taken out, though, so... Oof, a little bit rough.
You gotta try and make the play at some point. When you're falling behind, you gotta start swinging for the fences. Jeffa Cake was looking for a home run there, ends up striking out, and now the Baron was almost taken down before. This should be Baron going the way of UT Dallas, especially if Camille can find the kill here on to Sunny Onage.
Wow. All right, yeah, Lunarly getting in there, taking out Sunny, and then returning back to a Baron that cannot be smite stolen anymore. That's going to be Baron buff taken here for University of Texas at Dallas, now ahead 19-9 and a full 10,000 gold.
Yeah, a big lead, and very likely going to end up in a 2-0 for UT Dallas. That's what they're looking for, and that's what they are well on their way to accomplishing here today. Duke can still come back. You never count out a team with an Orianna on it, because all it takes is that one perfect shockwave to completely flip a team fight on its head, and all of a sudden you see an ace go in the way of Duke. But UT Dallas thus far has been very good at not really allowing that to happen, not really giving Duke too many opportunities to get back in this game.
Yeah, very true. Orianna can definitely turn things around, but not when people keep getting locked down. There's a nice shockwave, but it's not enough to even kill Faith. And even though we've got more engages, Omega GJ tries to get back into the fight, now we've actually got a little bit of an interesting situation where, yeah, Lunarly is just going to be able to dive in and assassinate everyone.
Yeah, and that was a nice shockwave, but it was just a little too late. You had mentioned that, it's not a solo game, and that was the problem there. Duke just did not have the team in position to capitalize on that shockwave.
Yeah, it's not a solo game unless you're following Lunarly, who apparently can just go everywhere, do everything. That is a very strong Camille. Going for an interesting build there with the Titanic Hydra, switching it up into a more tanky Camille. A lot of times we see just like a more full offense version, but this way it's just pretty safe and secure. And
if you're going to be diving under multiple towers, having a little bit of defense doesn't help. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, definitely. Very good point. Staying alive, making sure that his score keeps getting higher. And really, game number one, we really saw the discrepancy between the junglers. This time around, we're really starting to see the difference between top laners, Omega GJ and Lunarly, just on completely opposite sides.
And we even saw a little bit of that in game one as well. It wasn't quite as prominent because the jungle difference was so large early on, but by the end of the game, it was still that Kennen was just having a massively larger impact in the game than Omega GJ was able to. And now Lunarly again going solo. 1 versus 3. Can they do it? You're gonna get some help now.
Oh man, Jeffa Cake just barely going down Lunarly. Oh my god-like performance there. That Camille, that's some pretty crazy stuff, man.
You mentioned that we were going to be very likely not seeing Camille because it was probably going to be banned every game, and maybe it should have stayed on the ban table for Duke.
Yeah, also Malzahar almost always banned, very, very strong champion, regardless of what lane he's being played in, as evidenced by this performance. 12-1. Currently the score. We'll see if he can pad his stats a little bit more as both Nexus turrets fall. The redemption is used, but it's not going to be redeeming Duke at this point, as they will fall 0-2 and 28-9 here in our final game of the night. A final score of 13-1-7 for Freelancer's mid lane Malzahar. Wow, what a performance. UTD take the 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely incredible set of games for UT Dallas. No, you've got to be beaming with pride over there across the world. Your alma mater able to pick up the victory and move to 2-0 on the season. Unfortunately for Duke, that does mean that they are now going to be 1-1. And again, with the way that the ULoL campus series is structured, this division in particular only has 5 teams in it, means every single game is extremely important. So UT Dallas, they are off to an incredible start on the season.
Yeah, I'm glad you made that point, Tasty Bacon. Because there's only 5 teams in this group, or in this region, or what you're going to have is a lower number of teams than other regions, and that makes it more difficult to get out because you do have to distinguish yourself further above the rest of the teams in your group. So a little bit scary there, but UTD do come out on top with the win. So as a minor shout out, just because I did walk the same halls of UT Dallas, I believe it was 5 years ago. Big shout out to everybody else who's going to UT Dallas. I went there, super good school, so a little bit of my bias showing, but yeah, super proud to see them advance. And on the other side, to Duke, a team that I've seen do very well in previous seasons of the CSL, definitely need to get it together to make sure that they will be able to advance from this group.
Yep, absolutely. Well, that is going to just about do it for us here for this set of games. Make sure you keep an eye on the C-Star League Twitter and the Twitch accounts as well for other games. There's, I believe, 2 other sets of games that will be happening today for League of Legends. I know there's some CSGO going on today as well. So make sure you follow all those accounts. It's at C-Star League on Twitter. And then there's a whole list of sub-Twitter accounts for each individual game. Has their own Twitter account as well. So follow all of those. Follow at the C-Star League Twitch page, which is the one you're on right now, and the C-Star League 2, which if you're looking for the CSGO action, it will be over on C-Star League 2 a little bit later on tonight as well. For Rapid Casting, once again, my name is Tasty Bacon. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and have a great weekend.
Ben, Sam, and Ken are on separate journeys to defeat the menacing Vile Dragon. But let's just say luck isn't on their side. If only there was a way for them to find each other and band together. Well, that's why there's Band. It's a mobile app that allows people to come together using common interests. With Band, you can find fellow gamers, chat, schedule gaming sessions, and conduct polls. Stage epic battles with friends while sharing videos and photos along the way. So try Band today. Band. Be together.